Hey, what's going on, folks? Sean here, and hope you're all doing super well and that you had a fantastic Christmas week. So, I'm still pretty much feeling like a sedated sloth. I actually posted that in my group a couple of days ago. Absolutely went to town on all of the food. So, we have like a big family roast with a couple of meats and all the trimmings and puddings, and I just made an absolute guts of myself. Um, like I was making up for the time I lost during my training. So, still kind of recovering from that, but kind of getting things in gear and going again. So, I would love to hear what you were all up to. Drop it in the comments. Were you spending time with family? Were you working? Would love to just hear if all of you got a bit of quality time as well. I actually had my aunt give my dad a surprise visit, which I've known about since June. I'm terrible at keeping a secret, but kind of managed to keep that all on the down low. So she hasn't been back to Zimbabwe for 43 years. So it's just been an absolute pleasure to get that quality time and kind of do more self reflection on the year and get geared up for 2024, which I'm super excited to do. So what I really wanted to do was dive into another question from the AMA that I ran a couple of weeks ago in my group. And this one specifically is going to be around increased group growth and the way you can optimize things to really start to build out your group as we head into 2024. So, great question from Eddie and Linley, which was really on group optimization. So, they had posted in their group, they had posted on their profile pointing back to what they posted in their group, and they were going to be doing a TikTok next to be pointing back to the same thing inside their group. So, slow growth at the moment. So, they just wanted a bit of insights, and a bit of clarity around what they could do to grow out their group, right? So let's dive straight into it, folks. So once you've opened your group and you start to invite new members to your world, the best angle to attack its growth from is always going to be leading with a what's in it for them mindset, right? So there has to be a strong reason for your audience to take the next step in your process and continue along the journey with you. So it's not always as simple as saying, would you like to join my group? When I first got started online and started my group, I didn't really have a level of awareness in my business on how to build it out. So it was never really a big priority in my business. But once I became real group centric, it's really where I saw the explosion in my business. But at the beginning, I was doing a lot of cold outreach, which I no longer do. Obviously with group juice strategies, I've been able to really eliminate cold DMs in my life. But during that period, within the first sort of 3 or 4 messages back and forth with my leads, I was inviting them into my group and then getting really upset about why they weren't actually taking that next step. But I didn't really understand that folks have to understand that there's something in there that's going to help them achieve something specific or remove some sort of challenge that they're having in their world, and has to be in alignment with their business. So it's really got to be about what can you deliver inside your group that can be used for folks to actually continue on the journey with you, right? So it's always going to depend on your lead's level of awareness of where they're at in their business and what they're hoping to get, and the relationship that you already have with them. Your relationship is going to be in different levels with folks inside your DMs. So if you've already got a relationship going, you've just started your group, it's a lot easier to kind of have a chat with them and invite them to continue that journey, because they're going to have clarity around what you do already, versus someone that's brand new to your world. They don't really have clarity on what you do or how you can help them. So you really always want to be building in a way that's going to help them achieve specific things, right? So what's in it for them? So let's talk firstly about your guide section, right? It's going to be a really, really good thing to leverage and grow over time inside your group. And this is because you can develop it in multiple ways where you can house different things that can help and nurture your audience as they actually enter your world, right? Which will give them deeper clarity on what it is that you do and how you help folks specifically. It's also going to grow and evolve over periods of time as you scale your business and inject different things that are working in real time. As an example, I've really started to build up my guide section. I'm going to be making changes to it as we go into the new year, as things have started to evolve in my own business. But I've been leveraging the Group Juice free workshop for a while now in my business. And what it does is it really breaks down exactly the process that I'm using, okay, why it works, how it works, who it's for. And it takes folks through a sequence of like 5, 6, 7 days and really gives them deep clarity on the parts of the process in my business that work and how it can specifically help them. Right. Alongside my guide section, I've added an interview that I did with Flip and Nate when I first kind of entered Group Juice, and it was able to achieve 10K in 19 days. And they did a great interview with me, which also kind of pre-sold on exactly how that process could work for folks who want to leverage groups, who want to actually, optimize their profile for monetization. There's a lot of different elements that we chatted about, which further just continues to nurture the leads, right? As well as over time, I've started to build out trainings. I've started to build out different things, quick little tips and tricks, and that really can stack over time, right? So a few options you can actually take and test inside your group, which will really start to work with your audience and build things out at pace. Okay, is number one, you could test live or pre-recorded trainings. Now, I work with a pre-recorded setting, most specifically because my internet is shocking and I've got to work around my buckets of time. So I do pre-recorded trainings, but live trainings work really, really well for your group because the algorithm from Facebook kind of kicks in, recognizes that you're doing live trainings. And if folks actually, joining you in a live way, it pushes out your content much more frequently. So these can be anything from a 10-minute all the way through to a 60-minute training. Once you go past 60 minutes, folks really just start to drop off. People have busy lives. So I've really noticed that, my sweet spot with my specific audience is like a 10 to 20 minute window where I can really jam pack a lot of information into a training, which folks can take away and implement in their own world. But definitely test and try it and see what's actually working for your group. Different audiences, work differently. So definitely going to be important to get some feedback on how that works, right? And all of these trainings can highlight things you're learning, okay, and getting results from in your own business and world. And you can either do this weekly, you can do this monthly. I mean, I know I'm sure when I first started with ClickFunnels, way back when, one of their strategies was to do a live training absolutely every single day. So it's going to depend on your bandwidth, how much time you have available to actually run them. You can get a good feel for folks that actually joining your group as to where their challenges are, whether it's with content, whether it's with sales, or, if you're in the fitness niche or, different parts of the online world, you can definitely get feedback around what you can actually deliver on the front, which is going to help people that are actually coming into your group. So like I mentioned here, for me specifically, I break down different strategies with content, with the sales process, with group and profile optimization. I've broken down different things with apps and tools. So anything that's going to actually help nurture your audience and get them quick wins, right? So you could also run a series, so like a 3 to 7 part series, which breaks down exactly what you do in your own process or how folks can get started with something specific to go away and achieve something in their own business, right? And those work really, really well. So if you weren't specifically using Group Juice and leveraging Group Juice on the front end of your business, whether you're in the fitness niche, whether you're in romance, the romance industry, make money online, whatever it is you're doing specifically, and whatever it is you're selling, you could do a 3 to 7 part series breaking it down. Right. So that any new member in your world can go through a high value sequence and start to become pre-sold on your brand. And, what's so cool about it is it's going to live in your group permanently. So as folks, as you start to stack this out, whenever folks come into your world, they're going to see more and more from you. Right. Another way you can leverage things is with live interviews. So again, it's really going to work for folks who have the bandwidth, the time availability. It's something that I would love to do. We're actually planning on getting fiber in the next sort of couple of months and probably solar power. Once I do that, I will definitely be starting to run live interviews in my group. It really works well to grow your group from external traffic on your profile, because you can really use this as a lead magnet to bring folks into your world. And you can run a series with folks who you consider industry leaders who can break down specific elements of the strategy that you use already, right? So if you invite folks that are 2-3 steps ahead of you, they can come into your world, they can break down something specific. You can use that as a lead magnet on the front end of your business. And it really works well because it also cross-pollinates audiences and just continues to grow your world in that way, right? And you can also start to host your clients and your students as they start to get specific results, which is definitely going to build more goodwill with your audience and start to reveal proof of concept of what it is that you actually help to do, what it is you actually help folks do, right? So I definitely recommend this to anyone who isn't doing it already, is to really start stacking out live interviews. And it doesn't have to be something you do frequently. It could be something you do once a month over the next 12 months, okay, which is going to house 12 interviews, which is really just going to deliver on high value with your group. Okay, another way you can do things is with resources and assets. So you can build resources and assets which break down step-by-step processes to help your audience get quick wins in their business, right? So you could break down step-by-step guides. Okay, frameworks. So you could do like a content framework of what you actually do every single day in your business. You could break down your daily process. You can create short Google Docs like this, which breaks down exactly how you're building out your group. So anything you're really doing in real time, which you can deliver, with long form written content inside your group and house it there, or use it as a giveaway so you can start conversations in the DMs. You can create templates, you can create cheat sheets. If you've got 100 hooks that you've used that have performed well, you can create a cheat sheet which you can use inside your group, which works as a lead magnet on your profile. So there's a multiple different ways that you can actually go and test this to continue to build your group, right? Another one is tips and insights. So anything that you can think of that you're experiencing in real time that can help your audience with specific pains can actually be housed in your group, right? You can do content creation hacks. I do lots of little tutorials on different short form videos that I'm doing, or how I break down different things, or how I create a Google Doc. All of these are just going to be very quick tips that can help folks achieve very, very quick wins in their business and continue to build that trust with them, right? You could break down optimization hacks, different tools, different apps that you're using for editing, anything that you're using in real time that can help people achieve something specific. It's really going to build that LTV with your client. Now, how you can angle this in your content is once you start to build a catalog of different things that are live in your group, you can start to drive that external traffic to your group because you can provide them with X that can help them achieve Y, right? So everything you deliver that is high value inside your group can be used as that lead magnet on the front end of your business. So, for example, purple posts are a big one, right? So, when we first started this AMA, I delivered a 24-minute breakdown on how to get credible leads to your messenger. So, I use that purple post on the front end of the business. Now, when your audience raises their hands, there's two ways you can do this. You can either send them the permalink straight to the training. Okay, if folks have not already joined your group, that's going to send them to the membership questions, which they will have to fill out to actually join your group and get the thing. Okay, or this can also be segued into the DM, so you can start to have more intentional conversations. You can let them know the training is actually housed in the group and send them the info over to join. Okay, and then once they've actually gone through it, you can go back, you can follow up with them, you can see what they liked. It just continues to build the relationship and continues to grow your group at pace because you're always delivering something for folks, right? That there is the permalink back to that 24-minute training, and all you do is you can nab that permalink and actually drop it inside the comment section, and all it's going to continue to do is grow out your group. The second way is short punchy content with a call to action to join your group, right? So what I actually did was extracted this from my profile so you could see exactly how I build this out, which always drives folks back to my world, right? So if you have an online business of your own and you're not making sales, there's a few things you should learn to identify about your sales process to inject cash flow and profits for your brand. Content creation and distribution, humanizing the sales process, and making more offers frequently. If you can get good at all these 3 steps and actively build and accumulate them every day, I can guarantee that your sales process will become simplified and your cash flow will increase. Just dropped a fully loaded post over in my group, breaking down the specifics on the actionable steps you can take in each part of this 3-step process. We'll drop my group details below in the first comment. Feel free to hop in and give it a once over. Sean. And then what I'll do is I'll go over into the first comment and I'll drop this exact thing. If you want to get access to actionable steps for each part of your sales process to inject cash flow and profits into your brand, feel free to join my private community where I've just dropped them, and I'll drop that. Sometimes I also try the permalink here so that folks who are already in my group can just segue straight back to that information. So like I said, folks, you really always just want to be building things out with a what's in it for them mindset. It's going to be really important to continue to grow your group. I've said it many times. I'll continue to say it. There's not one piece of content that's going to miraculously change your world. It's really going to come from an accumulation of what you're doing consistently over periods of time. So just continue to stack as much high value stuff inside of your group, which can then be used on the front end of your business to drive the external traffic, and just continue to stack this and build it out. Get feedback loops so you really know what's working for your audience. Make sure that you're paying attention to what folks say as they join your group, because they'll be raising their hands to different things, letting you know where their challenges are so that you can continue to build things in your group, which is really going to nurture the current audience that you have. So really hope this helps. Would love to hear, if you go ahead and implement it. If it helps you, would love some feedback back in the comments if this made sense. Any other questions, let me know. Hope this helps, folks. I'm really looking forward to diving into 2024. Got some super cool things that are going to be happening, especially as I get my fiber and solar power. It's definitely going to segue into lots more cool things. So if I don't chat to you before, have a fantastic new year. Celebrate, eat cake. That's what I do now. So I'm sure I'll be eating some more before the new year. But hope this helps, folks. Chat soon.